We're going to start with Justin Bieber. Something was wrong with Justin Bieber last year. Everybody saw it. We certainly saw it. I mean, pictures of him crying.
He was crying. He was clearly distressed about something.
Distraught.
Yeah.
And we saw him with IVs in his arm. And every time we saw, that's him crying, but every time we saw these pictures, there was some explanation. That's him with an IV coming out of a medical building in Beverly Hills. We now know what was going on here. Justin Bieber has Lyme disease, and he has been battling Lyme disease for all of almost all of 2019, and for a long time, it went undiagnosed. The doctors couldn't figure out what was wrong, and it was really affecting him mentally.
Well, especially because some of the symptoms for this, not only do you get a rash, but you get a fever, headaches, fatigue. So you got to imagine someone who's always been in great shape, a performer, he's touring, for this to kind of hit his body probably did lead to some sort of depression.
It did. And he was like extremely depressed. We know all of this because we have now spoken with people who have seen his documentary that is coming out January 27th. At least the first one drops that day.
On YouTube.
On YouTube. And he goes into it in great detail and explains this journey where they finally diagnosed him last year.
Now, in the trailer, there are things in the trailer that came out for this where he's talking about depression, and everyone was wondering what it was. Here is some of what he said in that trailer. Again, we now know what's behind all this: Lyme disease.
There was a period where it was really tough for him. He was a shell of himself.
As humans, we go through so many ups and downs, so many good seasons, bad seasons. You know, sometimes we want to give up.
Well, so a lot of people do participate in this documentary. They contribute and they talk about the struggle he had with this. But this is the headline for this show, and it really does explain an awful lot. Remember, he just released a song, Yummy, and he had been saying that song was going to be released, and it wasn't, and it wasn't, and it wasn't. We now find out the reason it wasn't is because they wanted to make sure that he was well enough to release the song, the album, and then tour, which he's going to do this year.
And to do all the promotion around it.
And they had to wait because he wasn't ready. He's ready now. And that's why they released the song. That's why the documentary is now coming out. And it's the fact that they have finally
they
properly
feel like they have a handle on
him.
this, right? And they know how they're going to treat it going forward.
Right.
And he's feeling really, really good now, is what we're told.
They've announced a massive tour too, so you know that they wouldn't have done that because it's booking arenas, it's selling tickets, it's everything. They know that he's good, and whatever they're doing for treatment, he'll continue to be all right through this.
There is an irony to all of this, that in 2018, the Ottawa Department of Public Health warned people about Lyme disease and put this picture up and said, here's how to protect yourself. They used Justin Bieber in the picture, and they showed his socks, if you look on the right there, that they are covering his leg.
And the point being, if you're hiking, because a lot of people
get it from ticks.
And if you're out hiking in wooded areas, that's what you're supposed to do.
You know what, that's funny, because now that I think about it, Justin used to hike around Runyon Canyon and places like that.
Absolutely.
Maybe that's how he picked it up.
Yeah.
Hey, what's up? It's Wiz out in Jersey. I definitely feel bad for Justin with all he's dealing with his depression and everything, especially with the Lyme disease situation. I know the doctors couldn't find out what's going on, and it can really get to your head, especially when you're trying to release music when he hasn't done so in a while. I'm glad he's got back in the studio. He's recovered from the disease and everything, and we're finally gonna get to hear some new Justin Bieber music. I'm sure that makes a lot of his fans happy.